There we go.
Hello and welcome to another LinkedIn Live, LinkedIn Sites. This is a little unusual because I'm not where I thought I was going to be, but that's part of the fun of live and on location down the Jersey Shore. I'm really excited having my guest today, Karen Adams. Would you be so kind as to start off by sharing who you are and what you do?
Sure. Thank you for having me. And I love to be a part of this on the street edition. Um, my name's Karen Adams, and I'm the co founder of Powerhouse Collective, which is an agency. I like to, if I can give you a visual, we're like the everything bagel of bagels. We have seasoned professionals from Coca Cola, Adidas, New Balance, QVC, Mars. We worked with these epic brands for years, and we decided to just collectively join together and launch our own company.
I love it. So you have a lot of different kind of skill sets in your arsenal of the collective. What is the kind of main problem that you guys are helping people with?
So far, we just launched in April. I mean, we've been working together for years on the side, but so far, what we're seeing mostly are small businesses saying, I started this, I just did everything, and now that I'm profitable, I don't know what to do. I can't do it all. So we're trying to say, you do the part that you do best. You run the business, you create the goods. We want to be a partner with you every step of the way to take all those burdens off your plate and really enhance your brand, elevate your content, and get you to this next level that you want to get to.
And so you mentioned there that mostly small businesses. How would you kind of define your ideal client or customer?
So I'll take any customer that ends with the letter R. Really, we're there to help anybody, small or large, and anything in between. But what excites me the most, like if the dollar store or Five Below was watching, I would love to. They just been on my radar lately. I see a lot of room for
No, I
disruption
got
in that space.
just
Oh,
the
we got
software.
some background noise. Just going to repeat that. I see a lot of room for disruption in that space, a lot of storytelling potential. So I have a couple ideas. They've just been on my radar. I'm looking for any company that wants to disrupt. That's what excites me the most.
I love that, and I think it's kind of shake things up, and I think when I hear the word disrupt, I almost hear the word innovate. And I think that's they're kind of similar, where you're kind of stepping outside the norm and you're stepping outside, yeah, thinking outside the box, which I talk about a lot. Um,
Yeah.
so there are a lot of ways to kind of learn about that from books, and there are books on how to disrupt and innovate and all those things. And I'm a big fan of podcasts. Is there a business book or a podcast that you kind of think has been worth the time to read or listen to?
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of the Gold Digger podcast. It's Jenna Kushner. For somebody who's new and starting out, I think she's awesome. And I love how authentic she's been in her journey. But there's a TikTok creator that I feel like I have to give a shout out to. I have nothing to do with this
Okay.
person, but his name is Winnebago. And I'll spell that for you. I have it written down here. It's SWINNABEGO. He is all about
Oh, there you
branding.
go.
Winnebago. He's all about branding, and he is like has guts enough to go in and find brands and just completely rebrand them on his channel, and it's just really inspiring and bold of him to do it. And I just love watching him.
And he's got a great name, so you can't argue with that
Yeah.
branding piece. Um, in terms of this is often the hard question that people get. So aside from me, LinkedIn, we're on LinkedIn. Who are you happy that you're connected with? That's a connection of yours on LinkedIn.
I
Give them a shout
love.
out.
Yeah, I've never met this woman, but I'm connected to her. Her name's Robin Story, and she's the juicy side of TikTok. She is
Great
a
name.
resume writer. Yeah, yeah. She's a resume writer. Um, who's taken a really bold stance about how broken the networking and recruitment, unemployment industry is. And she just drops so many truth bombs. It's exciting. It's like how LinkedIn should be, in my opinion, which she's delivering every day. She has a captive audience and she's just running with it.
I love that. So I'm just about to, I'm writing a book on content called The Content Beast, coming out September, October. So I'm always curious about people's content consumption. So can you name, what's your kind of favorite content to consume?
Yeah.
On LinkedIn or on in general?
Well, I'm a TikTok addict. I can spend days. Yeah. Anybody that teaches me something, I'm following you, whether it's cooking or marketing, makeup tips, you name it. If there is something of value, I am hooked. I'm definitely jumping on all the trends of like cottage cheese or, this, whatever is trending, I'm doing in my own home. And for a while there, I was creating my own content until my kids got old enough to be like completely humiliated and their friends found me, so I had to get off.
Well, that's interesting. My next question was about what's your favorite content to create for your business and without embarrassing your children, which I think is a good thing to do, and you just keep doing that.
Yeah, I'm actually glad we have like a business channel now. We're just starting out with Instagram. So I have an excuse for my kids. But for me right now, I'm geeking out on AI. I'm really playing with Midjourney. I'm like on this mission to create images that are actually realistic. I feel like it's like the first version of like Atari right now, and I just know where it's going to go. I would love to create a brand from scratch using AI every step of the way.
Yeah, AI, you can't escape it. It's everywhere. And I think, jump in is I think that a lot of people, there's the naysayers and the fear mongers, and it's like, it's not going away. And for creatives, I think, and people in the creative industry, it's really fun to be able to, not to say, oh, this is good. I've said this many times, and I think I even said it in my book, which is we're not going to lose our job to AI. We're going to lose our job to someone using AI. So get on board and start learning because it's a great tool. It can be a great tool. It's not a replacement. It's an enhancement. At least that's kind of how I look at it.
You're so right. Yeah.
So we have AI now helping us. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to creating consistent and valuable? I love that you said anything of value you like. So I think that's always the goal of content, is to try and create consistent value to people. What do you find your biggest challenge in terms of creating that consistent, valuable content?
So this one kind of stumped me. I don't necessarily have problems with creating it. I have problems educating clients, or I shouldn't say problems. It's a challenge to educate clients to understand that it's not a one-hit wonder or an overnight sensation. I feel like content has such high expectations to deliver almost immediately in this Insta world that we live in. And I have to really sit down with them and understand that it's not just this one piece of content, it's every single touch point in the full marketing mix that matters over time. So having patience during the process and trusting the process is really where we have to really spend time educating on that.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things that in our world of where speed is everything, and so we expect everything instantaneously, and people are slow to like want to get on these new things, and then as soon as they get on, they're expecting it to be this magic wand effect, where, oh my god, it's going to change everything. And it's, rather than it being the thing, it's a thing. Social media, AI, whatever it may be, it's tools. And I think when I talk about content, it's just, you got to maintain the core about who you are and what you're trying to share and how you help and who's your audience. All those fundamental things about content creation and content distribution is all these shiny objects. And I suffer greatly from shiny object syndrome. But it's about how can we use these to continue on that foundation. And I think consistency over time, both consistency in terms of frequency, but consistency in terms of your brand voice. And I think, you're a brand person. And so I think a lot of people don't recognize great content isn't something that goes viral necessarily, unless that virality helps you with your business objectives. And again, it's not just about like, oh, and I always joke, people say to me, what do you say when a client says to me, just make something viral? That would be really good if you could just make a piece of viral content for me. And so, yeah, I think there is an element of education with people outside of the marketing world to recognize that marketing is a part of your brand experience that you're sharing with people.
Yes.
And that there are lots of other elements, and it's kind of look at the thing as a whole rather than this one tactic or this one even strategy that may, change the thing. I think I don't know that it's ever going to change that need to educate people about that. But in some ways, I think that's why we have jobs, because they don't quite get their head around the fact that, like, well, I posted something and it didn't change my, like, give it a minute,
Yes.
And now, there's more stuff being shared. I love the concept of infobesity. Like, you have to also recognize there's so much noise out there. And again, that's why being on brand and having that voice is so important.
So true.
All right. Well, I am going to end. My last question is a silly question, but I produce animation, and so I'm a fan of animation. And so I'm always curious, who is your favorite animated character and kind of why?
Yes. Good question. So I really thought hard about this, and I had to go with Donkey from Shrek, because he unapologetically flew his freak flag. He was just there for the journey, supporting his friend. He kept everybody entertained, and would break out in spontaneous song. And I feel like that's basically the ethos of this business. We like to have fun along the way and just be real humans. So it's Donkey for me.
I love it, and I think one of the things I think that's great about that character is the unbridled enthusiasm that we often have when we're younger, and then a lot of people lose when they grow older. And I think part of the almost responsibility of marketing is to kind of infuse some of that, and it may not necessarily be with your content, but at least the process. Like, life's short, let's have a little fun with this. And so I would end by saying, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate, I'm out in gorgeous, I'm literally, the ocean is to my right. And so I didn't intend to be here. It's an EV vehicle thing, which don't let that stop you from getting one. It's more, it was a human error, not a tech error. It was a human error that caused it. But Karen, this has been great. I really appreciate your sharing your time. It's clear we think a lot alike about a lot of these things. And for those that are not familiar with Karen, go check out the Power Collective. And I'm sure she can help you disrupt your business. So thanks very much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful time at the beach.
Take care.
All right.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.